Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Everyone, okay? All right, somebody got their mic on, I think. Hello, Robin, all I see is your name there. Your mic must be on. Stacy, it's in there. The mic's off,
Assistant, yeah.
mic is off, everything like that. Okay, let me see. Stacy's coming in, okay. Let's see what we got going here.
Hello, Ray.
Hello,
Hello.
okay, I see Reed there. Cynthia's there. Jake. Stacy on there. Okay, we see who else is on there. Started coming up, we got a black screen here, I don't know why.
Jake Martin. Yeah.
Audio,
Okay.
mute is on. It might be just sort of, people
Well,
still
somebody
coming
else
in.
just came in.
You guys hear us okay? Someone?
We can hear and see you from here.
Oh, okay, all right, well,
Okay.
that's good, that's all that matters
Good.
on there. Martin, our lawyer is with us today. On there, to get going, started on things. Where would you like Martin to start?
Well,
Patrick?
good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? I don't
We
think
can
they
hear you, Patrick. We can hear you.
Okay. Well, we are call this meeting more or less, it's a normal thing that the HOA does every year, the town hall meeting, to give everybody an opportunity to, say what they need to say. And also we update them on, some of the major stuff that we are focused on getting done for the HOA. And one of the key issues here that from my perspective, is transfer of the common area. And in addition to that, we have some issues that came up, legal issues that came up with F12, F10, C13. We took that on to report it. So what I figured that I would invite Martin to explain to you, what's going on with respect to the developer on Miviat, where we are in that process. And he can also fill you in on F12 and F10 and C13. So I'm gonna let him address those issues first, and then we get into the other general stuff.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Martin Santamaria. I've been hired by the HOF to work the legal issues in this HOF. And the first thing at sign was to try to get all the files of Miviop, who is it that the agency who take care of all the segregations in this HOF notification. And then we got that. That is allowed. We got all the files. Everything is scanned, and I did a study, and we have a clear that we are a close community, and we suppose have in our assets all the common areas, roads, and parks. Who was assigned a couple of years ago by this entity to this subdivision. Now, 2 weeks ago or a month ago, I claim and make a writing to asking this entity to do audit of all the area and to tell that this audit they're gonna come here, they're gonna see what's going on here, and they will find out they never was transferred these areas, common areas part to the HOF, like the law says. So we are in that waiting for that response from the entity and the serve of the company who create this close community. And then in the meantime, a week or 2 weeks later, when I start to work for you guys, we got a lawsuit, who is a lot 11,
F12.
F12. We respond that civil law, civil claim. The civil claim, they're telling these owners, we have a gate who don't allow people go inside, and we defend ourselves is with all the documents from this entity, MIVID, who declare this area like a closed community. So we are allowed to have a gate, and this gate um, is no blocking nobody go inside. It's just a matter of security and in all the all the benefits for all the person who live inside in this community. So that was like already 4 months ago, 5 months ago. We respond to that lawsuit, and then in Panama right now we changed the civil code, and that was done last week, and then that we having a lot of delays in this claim because still the judge don't see really the case. And the other thing, the developer, through Claudio Zamudio, the lawyer who they used, they took a lot of time to serve him and to contest. Right now they have been served, but they have no writing defending themselves. Um, I've been having some meetings with Claudio, with the authorization of the board because of this case. And I was telling him, to Claudio, the lawyer, we suppose answer this case because these people who did that civil claim, they asking 25,000 in damage. So, like if we lose this case, it's 25,000 we suppose paying. But without the answer I did, with all the documents I provide to the court, I provided the statement of the CPA, the paperwork of we are a close community, and all of my writing, I believe we have that this case is gonna be dropped. But I'm waiting that the developer answer this case too, because if we have any, we could only discuss this is because all the responsibility to tell all the owners in the beginning of this community was a closed community was the developer. That doesn't have nothing to do. This is not the responsibility of the HOF. In the meantime, I've been telling the board some advising them to put in the enter of the community to put on a sign.
Yes,
Yeah.
a sign.
A sign to beware to anybody who comes here. We are a closed community, and we are anybody who comes inside. They have to respect the bylaw of our community. What else?
The rules. Okay.
The rules
Yeah.
of the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing that we want to talk about, F10, where are we on that?
F10.
That's the one with the easement, where
Okay.
the building that.
Yes. The F10. We did a claim in the small claim court in who's that town?
Guma.
Well,
Guatemala. And then we did that claim. That was just 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And they have been come here to make an inspection twice. And I provide them all the information to serve this person. I believe this person is not here in Barqueta. But they provide, the board provide me phone numbers and email address. And suppose this person having, they have been trying to serve him for years. And I was pushing the small claim judge to tell if you don't find this person, put a fine. And in that moment, the municipality could serve these people put a lien that property because they didn't pay the fine. So we're waiting for that. In the meantime, I put in knowledge to that to the municipality engineer, and I believe they came here to make an inspection about that construction in the in that
Common area.
common area, but I call it more like a pathway.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what.
yeah, pathways, right.
Yeah.
And then the other one
And
is
then the other one is C13, where the guy building the whole destroy
okay.
the reserve area.
This person, we even that I walk the area with the board members, and was too clear. They are building on a pool, and they are taking all the protected area away. And we put the knowledge too again with the municipality of Alange, and we make a claim against him in the small claim court. They have these two cases, those two entities. Plus, we went to the Environment Bureau and we put a claim. This morning I was there asking them what's going on, and they're telling me they don't have a car to come over uh, to see what's going on. But in the meantime, I could say the moment they come, they will not check only that house. They will go all over the place to look if any other person have been doing the same thing. So we have by law, everybody has to be sure no damage that area who's protected by law, with the 12-meter between the property line to the beach. What else?
Okay. The other thing that we wanted to talk to them about, the issue have come up over and over about Francisco and the contract and also Edwin, because we don't want as the HOA to get caught up with being held liable for taxes that they're supposed to pay the government, etc. So when we take a look at the contract that we have on file, it really does not conform to the legal standard. So to protect the HOA. So what we have asked Martin to do is to draft a contract that will protect the HOA for Francisco to provide the service to maintain the roadway or the boulevard. And the same thing with Edwin, which is our HOA manager. We have to make sure that we have a written contract that spells out specifically that, these guys are responsible, what their responsibilities are. Because at the end of the day, if we don't, from what Martin is telling us, that if they fail to do these things, then they hold the HOA liable for these taxes. So that's the other thing that Martin is working on.
Well, and that was more like any employee who have the HOF supposed to be in the Social Security system of Panama. Let's say that person have an accident, caught with a knife or get a bite by the snake or whatever. If the contractor doesn't pay, he could come after us because we're how they call that we're a mutual responsibility with anybody who works inside and be doing some job for us.
Reliable.
For reliable, yeah. So for that, in the contract with the workers, we suppose if it's a contractor, we suppose put on a clause who's that person supposed show us the good standing of the Social Security and who is in the payroll in the Social Security like that is this only these people who supposed to coincide. I've been telling you guys too, like in the moment you do that, of course, maybe they're gonna hire the fees or whatever. But if you are protected, I think is right for all the members and all the community.
Yeah. Okay, so I think there's the other thing again. Well, the only other thing I want to talk to you about, want to since Martin is here. Of course, we sent out this collection letter, which we will get into later, but right now I just want to touch on that. And of course, we sent one out to the developer who holds the most of the money. That is outstanding. And of course, they sent a response which I forwarded to Martin. And the bottom line there, Martin was saying, is that, basically we have to take legal action, and that all incorporated into the action that we are seeking through MIVIAT. So at some point in time, we will hold him liable, but right now we're just focusing on, the MIVIAT issue transfer of the common area. So Martin, was there anything I sent you what was he claiming? Remember, I sent you the response from the developer, from Claudia,
Okay.
about
I read here. I make my own conclusion about it. My conclusion is like the only way to it's no way to respond a letter where it doesn't say nothing. And then that letter says, like they're claiming we are this community is a public organization and isn't like that. I was surprised when I read that. Right away, I went to see the deep where you guys became an HOF, and it's clear he's an private.
Yeah.
And he's confusing us, trying to confusing us. Plus the way they're claiming all their lots, they are a part of other HOF, is not right. But like I said, the only way to be to go after him, we have to sue that minute from when those lots they went to other
At that
HOF.
point.
At that point, yeah. Because that, right now we go to court. Let's say we go to court, the judge is gonna say, well, they have other HOF, and maybe that file is gonna be stopped there. But because we have to tag the right
Time on it.
that we have to tag that minute when they transfer all those lots to this other HOF.
Yeah.
And when they create this subdivision was all the lots included, and then we have a letter again from MIBE,
Yeah.
from the Housing Bureau, who says it's only one HOF supposed to be in this community. By law don't supposed to be two.
There can only be one.
It's only one, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
by law.
Right. So as long as this HOA exists, that one cannot.
No.
So to sum up what Martin is saying that, what the developer has done, they set up this, which I'm pretty sure some of us here are aware of, that set up this other HOA, and then the lots that he owns, he transferred them into the HOA, into this new HOA. Well, you cannot do that because you have to get mutual consent from Barket and Nice, a unanimous consent before you can transfer anything by the rules that he files. Okay, so he transferred them out, you can transfer everything, but it's really not legal. However, what we need to do, we can't just ignore it. We have to file an opposition to them to set aside those transfers. So we have to file a document to vacate those transfers so that it shows that, we're aware of it and we have done everything that we needed to protect our best interests. We can't just sit and just let it stand.
And 100% on this actually is the rules of use. We have to have every person say yes to anything that moves. That's done. Every person.
Yeah, 100% of the members.
100%. It's not no adjustments there.
Okay. So that's the other latest thing that came up that we have to address. So Martin is gonna take the necessary steps to file the order to vacate those transfer so that protect our position.
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
so is there anything else? I think that's it for now. I'm not gonna take any more time of. Do you guys have any questions for Martin?
Uh, Anybody got questions for Martin? Down here, we got some down here. Somebody's taking over the screen here and
Yeah.
on here, so we're on. Nobody put their hand up here.
Okay.
The kitchen's right here. And there's two on there,
Okay.
but, for some reason they got their, oh, here's Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. I was waiting to see someone new coming on there.
There. I'm sorry, I was looking for where to raise my hand and I didn't see it.
It should be down at the very bottom of your screen, and it should be under reactions.
Oh,
Okay.
reactions, okay.
Yeah, and then when you click on that, it'll ask you if you want to raise your hand, and then it'll ask you want to lower it. You'll catch on, but go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, Martin, I have heard that there was a settlement agreement with Lot Q10, and I'm wondering how this board had the authority to excuse past dues.
Well, I am not aware about it.
Yeah, that's the one you do. Q10, where is the settlement?
But settlement. Ah, okay,
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, the
He had no services.
yeah.
That's the one.
who paid the $4,000.
Right, the
Yes.
$4,000.
Yes, was they want to sell that property and they came to us asking was more the buyer and the realtor who wants to know how much he's supposed to pay because they want to make they want to do the things right, the buyer. And in that moment, like we came with an settlement, but the board approved it and we received around $4,000 because of that.
But
Yes,
since when can the board approve such a thing and without a general assembly vote? I mean, does that same deal work for anyone with back dues?
Well, in the way I see it
Is it a precedent?
yes, that when you guys vote for this new board, you guys give the opportunity to administrate, to do legal business, to do a lot of things. And that way they have an authorization from you guys to do these kind of things. We in next general assembly, if some of the members that are not happy, they could point that like we could point to vote. We could change things, like with how much we could accept it if and a member didn't pay. How like how much we could I call it rebate to them. 10%, 5% if they paid in one shot. But that like in that moment they could come. But in this moment, it's nothing right who they don't give the authorization to them to do this. So they did it.
So it's just up to you that, okay, Q10 gets money excused and the developer does
no,
not.
it's not as simple as that, can it? In a negotiation, they came to us and they said, listen, we want to settle. And they said, we realize that area, for example, what we took into account. Over there, we have not provided any services. Okay, we have not cut the lot. We don't cut the streets or anything. Okay, so they said, listen, since you have not really provided any services, could we, because if you don't provide the services, then you really can't charge a person for it. Okay, so based upon that argument, and when we looked at the facts that no services have been provided, we figured that it was better for the HOA to collect $4,000 than to go litigate something for $6,000. So when you look at the trade-off, so we made a decision that it's in the HOA best interest to collect the $4,000 and write off the other $2,000 because for the reason that I just stated there was no services provided to that property owner over the years.
No road, no garbage collection, no
Okay.
electricity, no water.
Well, the other lots don't have garbage collection either, Ray. But I know that it was mowed when I was president. The road was mowed up that far when I was president. The fence was painted that far when I was president because Mr. Covey came to me and made a complaint, and I made sure that it was done. So you can't say that services were never provided because I don't know for the last 2 years, but I do know of the 2 years prior to that, services were provided. My problem is not so much like that. So many things. I may agree with you totally, but there has been no communication of this board with the people. And so I don't know if I agree with you because I don't know what you're doing.
Well, those kind of stuff we don't need to come back to because if we have to come back to the general community for that kind of stuff, then you don't need a board. Okay, so the board is put in place to run the HOA affairs in the best interest of the HOA. Okay, not to come back to the HOA to the general members and said, okay, should I do this? Could I do that? Then you don't need a board. Okay. So that's basically how a board works, and that's typical of any organization that you have. Okay, you put a board in place to run the affairs of the HOA or the company, and the board makes decision that is in the best interest of the HOA. The board doesn't have to go back to the members every time and say, should I do this, should I do it? Yes, when we have a major issues like the lawsuits and what have you, those kind of stuff, the collection activity, yes, we come back and let you guys know and get your input. But for those operational stuff, no.
Speaking of lawsuits and so on, I mean, these were just posted. It's brand new posts. The, attorney-client agreement, was that signed? Because what was posted is not dated or signed.
Yes, it was signed. I don't know
Okay.
who posted. Yeah, so yes, it was signed.
Okay, what's on the website is not dated or signed.
Okay, so I don't
And
know.
so you don't feel that that's anything that should have gone before the General Assembly, before you just did that? You committed us to
No,
3
that-
years
no.
of,
That matter was addressed the last General Assembly meeting. It was addressed. There was money set aside for legal fees, etc. That was already addressed. So we didn't do anything new. All we did was to engage the attorney.
how can the people bring forth motions to be included on the ballot?
Well,
Contact our manager, tell them they want to do this, and then we'll get a hold of them. We've been telling people forever, contact our manager if you want to give us a message or something like this. We were busy all this time.
trying to take care of the
We were
HOA
trying
important
to
stuff.
start our feet moving now on here and getting stuff. We accomplished a lot.
I know I'm not trying to put down any of the work that you've done. I'm
But
just saying.
my answer to you is, at any time, and we're saying it over and over again, please contact our manager so we can get back to you. And he's helping doing that. He's very good at it.
He was contacted several times, for instance, just for an agenda for this meeting.
There was never an agenda for these types of meetings
For
before.
town hall meeting, there's no agenda. Town hall is town hall. You call for the General Assembly meeting, yes.
And this board never asked for one.
For town hall meetings,
We
there's
voted
no
no.
agenda. The town hall is when the people gather together, you put there to express their concerns about issues and discuss them and what have you. That's what town hall meeting is all about.
Okay, so we would put together motions and get them to the manager?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can start a committee and bring it to them, bring it to a board member, but you got to get your committee together. Usually if you want to accomplish anything, you should put a committee together, and then a board member usually joins onto it, and at that point they say, okay, this is good. We got to have a vote on this and bring it to the people.
Okay, we'll work on that.
Okay,
Okay.
anyone else?
Good.
Or have you got more, Kathy?
Well, go ahead.
All right, Phil, are you on there?
So, is this the last town hall meeting before the General Assembly?
No. There will be
Okay.
one more.
Okay. And the General Assembly date has not been set yet?
Actually, I can say that it's likely going to be in December. And then we plan on running full term. And then, and I think the actor came in place, I think around the end of January. So we'll likely be planning something before about the middle of January or something for the general.
So to answer your question more specifically, Phil, no, we have not set a date yet. We have some issues. One of the big things that we're working on that consumes a lot of our time is the outstanding maintenance fees that took a lot of time, and that is important from my perspective in collecting the monies that we have on the fee out on the street so that we can take care of our obligations. So with that, I don't think we need to, I'm going to excuse Martin unless anybody have an illegal question. I'm going to excuse Martin so that we don't run up that clock.
Actually, I do have a
And then-
legal question for him. So,
Okay.
first of all, it's just there's going to be another town hall. That's the
Yes.
key thing. So, so if we want something to be on the town hall agenda, do we give that to the manager? Or you're just not going to have an
Well,
agenda?
actually, if you want something on it, Phil,
We've had a multiple page agenda before, so it blows my mind saying there's no agenda before.
there was never for a town hall that I'm aware of. But anyway, to answer your question
I
right
will
on,
send you copies.
we'll do what you're doing right now. We'll have a town hall. Just get up, raise your hand and speak. We're going to hear you.
But it's good to have something on the agenda so people can think about it and have an opinion. But okay, let's cast that. For the lawyer, my one question is did we change to a closed HOA community, or did something happen that we became a closed HOA?
Okay, when the Araúz, the family create this subdivision, that was in 1999. Panama didn't have a law who enforced the closed community. The closed community came out that law in 2003. What they have in the file in MIBIOP, with the Housing Bureau, in the file of this subdivision, they have a letter of the Araúz family asking the entity to create this segregation like a closed community. But like I said, we didn't have a law. But that letter was responded by the entity create in that moment this community closed. The meaning, this area, the common area, the parks, the roads, never gonna be passed to the Panama state. After 2003, the law came, and that letter was like it's force, so they have more power, that letter. And I don't remember, I know exactly was in 2019. The family, they went back to the Araúz, the family Araúz went back to the MIBI, and they submit to be a closed community enforced by the law from 2003. And then came and a resolution from that entity who create two times. The second time where this place total and a closed community. This we having I believe everybody who was coming here knew they are inside one community who is a gated community, and they have some responsibilities and some duties to have, because we are a closed community. I did answer your question.
Not really, but that's okay.
But what we could do, like I taking notes of that question too, and then I'm gonna respond to the board and then the board could send that information to you if that helps.
Any communication would be appreciated.
Thank you, man.
Okay. Anyone else for,
I got a question. I'm not sure if my hand's raised or not. I'm just unmuted.
go ahead.
Yeah,
So since July 31st, we have spent $8,400 on legal fees. That's a lot of money. You mentioned some lawsuits. I'm wondering, are there any lawsuits that you guys haven't mentioned? If so, what are they? And where are we with them? Where are we standing with them?
well, I did not from Martin, no. Okay, so could you repeat what you said we have 84. What losses are you talking about?
I said that since July 31st of this year, we have spent $8,400 on legal fees. I know that you had mentioned several lawsuits, and I'm just wondering, are there any more outstanding lawsuits with our HOA that you haven't mentioned? And if so, where is our standing with those lawsuits?
Okay, well, as far as I know, no, everything that I told you about that I'm aware of, F12 was here before I got here, so no. So to answer your question, no. And C, so the only lawsuit we have, the issue we have is an administrative process with the developer to transfer the common area. That's the main reason why we hired a lawyer, because we'll work with the developer to get it done voluntarily, and he does not do it. Okay, that's the main reason for hiring the lawyer. The F12, we really did not hire him for the F12 and the L10 issue, because those were in place, before I got on board. However, since he is the attorney, what I've done with all legal matters, and I don't practice law in Panama, I have him address those issues so that the board, the HOA best interest is protected. So C13, really, there's no lawsuit there. All that is just a complaint that we are filing with, there's no lawsuit with C13. C13 is just a complaint we're filing with the town of Alania and the environmental people, because they have violated their reserve area significantly. So the only lawsuit we have is F10, which is a simple thing to transfer to tear down the barbecue, the kitchen that he puts into the common area. And of course, F12, that is something that came up and sue both the HOA and the developer. So there are no more lawsuits. Those are the only Miviat with the developer. That's an administrative process. F12, that's a lawsuit. And F10 is a lawsuit, and that is a simple, F10 is very simple. It's just a matter of having getting the authority from the town of Alania to tear down the kitchen that he built in the common area.
So it's a done deal.
Yes. So there's no other lawsuit.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else for anything for Martin?
Yes, I'm trying to raise my hand here.
Hi, John.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
Okay, I just have one comment. It is not F10. I think he's talking about L10.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, John. You're right. Yeah.
I just want to be sure we're talking about the same place.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
No problem.
Anyone else with anything?
I've got my hand raised. So I'm sorry to ask some more questions. So what about you mentioned in the minutes about putting liens against lots?
Yes.
The demand letters and their statements, going, yes.
So let me, and then I'm gonna let Martin talk to that because, so the decision was, okay, we have to notify everybody who hold. So we send out the demand letter and we give them a certain time to respond. And we told them in the demand letter that if they did not respond, we will turn it over to the attorney for collection. The process that the board has in mind is to, once we turn it over to Martin, those who have not responded, okay, he's then gonna send them a letter saying, guys, you had notice about this debt that you hold. We're giving you one more chance to, come up with an arrangement to settle this debt with through my office. And if you don't, then we're gonna proceed to take legal action, and that legal action will be to file for the lien. Okay, so one of the things that I talked to several attorneys before was, in order to file a lien, having control of the common area is really key. Okay. However, Martin has experience we're in other HOA where the judge has been granting lien against property without, the issue of the common area being transferred, because they're taking the position that you recognize the debt, it's a community, it's a legitimate debt, and you have to pay it. So I let Martin talk to that piece in terms of what Panama law says about that and what he proposed to the board.
Well, to try to recuperate the money, some owners they don't want to pay. We suppose go to the civil court. We do two different lawsuits. One is for the lien and one is for the claim. And that lien we have to pay to the court, and we have to bring some. Sometimes it's from 20% to 30%. The judge decide. Let's say if it's $10,000 in debt, it's going to be $3,000 in one check to assure. The judge wants to see if that business is a really business. Like if you're really, because what's going on if the person comes with bills and say I did pay it, you have to pay, give that money to that person, like damage.
They're kind of asking up front to show you're committed.
Yeah,
That
committed.
you're going to follow through. So they put a percentage on it saying,
Yes.
all right, we know he's committed, so we're going to allow the lawsuit
Yeah.
to continue.
Yeah, and then we, in the second document, we do a lawsuit telling the judge why we are claiming this, and I see like it's a easy touch. The meaning, like with an CPA statement for each lot who doesn't pay the properly money for many years. We could have then to come. The judge give the opportunity to pay this person 2 days after is served, or the person could oppose that payment, and in that moment he has to pay interest, and if he pays in those 2 days, they will cut interest, fines, whatever. And if he contested and he lost, in that moment he's gonna pay interest, losses, legal fees, and everything. So, yes.
Yep. That was still at us, I think, was it?
So the meaning, like I just received last year. I did one in Boquete, and we just closed it, and that person, the lien was for 11,000. The judge marked 13,000, and then came 2025 was other. The final was 15,000 in dues, or no pay, didn't pay those dues, 15,
Maintenance fees.
and interest plus $10,000 in damage to the HOF, the meaning to pay the lawyer, the CPA, paperwork, registro público, because you have to pay all this.
Yeah.
But in the end, that person pay everything. It was 25,000 in the total in the end.
Mhm.
And even the person say if he knew about it, he will not hire lawyers to go. He will pay directly.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, he hired 3 different lawyers because even that they went to appeal to their court, and we was lucky, not lucky. We win again, and here in the end, that went from 13,000 all the way to 25,000 because he didn't wanna pay
Yeah.
the first time.
Okay.
So,
That answer you, Phil?
well,
Yeah,
Well, that-
just one other question on that is how do you collect the $15,000? You already just put a
Well, the
lien against
judge
the law.
is the judge. The judge first. The first thing we do, like with a CPA statement, he says it's so much. Let's talk about $10,000, and then because he didn't pay in that time, in those two days, the judge gives the opportunity to the person to pay. He contests that payment. That the judge say, okay, I'm gonna put you interest. They call that lawyer fees and any other expense. And in the moment he went to Supreme Court, not Supreme Court, higher court, and then that came back to the first judge, and then came other year in fees, almost 26,000. Sorry, 2,600, and then I pull out my bills, legal fees, registro público fees, notary fees, CPA fees. In that moment, we was using Candanelo. We are using there by Escondido Candanelo. He charged for each letter to $250. Was 2 letters of the statement, $500 there. That came to $25,000. How he paid? Because he didn't want to fight more. And we have a lien in the property, and he's in interest to sell that property, and that property maybe is over 600,000. So he preferred pay it, make it clear, and sell it, and walk away from there.
Yeah. So there's a lien on the property totally until he pays up.
Yes.
And it's an acquiring interest all the time. The judge already ruled on it. If he doesn't pay, it is an acquired interest.
The interest keep coming up. Yeah.
Yes.
and that's let me just interject into that. That's why the board we looked at what's the best way to approach collecting these monies. So that's why we spend a lot of time with the accountants, making sure that the balances that are reflected on the statements are correct, and of course draft up the letter and send them out. And we figure that okay, you give the person who an opportunity to pay or to come in and work out whatever the situation is with the board. And of course, if they don't, then the next thing is to just a letter from the attorney without incurring the expense of suing. And hopefully we figure going through those process, the person will come up with paying with some form of system of paying the bills, and if they don't, then we go to the next level. So we're taking it the cheapest way, the less expensive, and we're notifying them, and we're making sure that the statements that they get, the amounts are correct. So that's where we are in that process right now. And that has consumed a lot of our time, working with the accountants and going through the bills, making sure that those balances are correct. So we have completed that process. All the statements have been sent out. Some people have paid. They haven't. There are others we have not heard from, but we are hoping that by the time they get the letter from the attorney, that will give them and will motivate them that or put them on notice that we're serious, we mean business, so they will come up with a process of paying the bill. So that's one of the things that is consuming a lot of time, but we feel that we have to take this action to collect from the people who doesn't pay. We can't be you can't be living off other people. Everybody have to pay their bills. You're enjoying the roads and every single thing. You have to pay your share. So we intend to push that envelope as hard as we can, and that's what we're doing.
And this is all important for us to get title too. I mean, maybe it looks at how we run this whole area.
Yeah, well,
It shows that we got interest in it and we're running it properly and they're gonna pay attention to it.
yeah. So the main focus on Martin, which I said to him right now, is to working with the developer without having to go through any kind of expensive lawsuit to get the common area transfer, because that is important for the well-being of the HOA. And that is really the primary focus. These are the lawsuits, for F12 and L10. Those are sort of superfluous. We got dragged into those. But the main focus is getting the common area transferred, working with the developer, and also collecting these monies that are owed to the HOA.
Yeah, and it is going well with the developer. He's on board with all of this, with all these conflicts with building up and everything. They're there to help too. The developer, they give us support on it. Yeah.
So
Anything else? Anything, guys? From Merton?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I still have a question. What is the cost associated with placing a lien on each property? There are a lot of properties with back dues. What is the cost per lot, for instance?
Okay, let's say not by law, let's say by the amount. The amount.
Yeah,
Let's make an example, no? Let's say that $10,000 is gonna be between 20 to 30%, and a guarantee check we have to put in bond. In bond, as they call it.
a bond.
Bond,
yes.
In the court. But when we collect that $10,000, that money gonna come back to us.
Okay, and if they have a lien placed on their property and they're not interested in selling it, and they just say, okay, thank you, I have a lien, there is no recourse to make them pay until they sell, is that correct?
No, well, it's not like that. It's by stage. First, we put a lien, it goes the lawsuit, and the person is no interest to pay. We could ask that judge to enforce our the debt. The meaning, one, take the administration of the place or sell it. The judge will put in sell that property, and then they will pay us, and the rest of the money will go to the owner.
Okay, this is Panama. How
Yeah.
long does that take?
What? Thank you.
I'm just saying.
Well, I could give you a sample that
Because right now they are supposed to get a posizado, saying that their dues are up to date when they sell a property. Not all attorneys do that, but most of them do. And so my experience has been that they actually have been paying their back dues as they sell the lots. But, if they have a lien, yes, legally they're forced to do it. But again, how far are we going to go? Because all of that costs more attorney fees, in my estimation. How much do you spend to collect $6,000?
Kathy, sorry, here's the approach. That's why we're taking the least expensive road first, okay? Once we, Martin send the letter, depends on the response or the feedback, we're gonna then come to the General Assembly and say, look, guys, Martin the attorney has sent the letter to XYZ. We haven't gotten any response from them. The next course of action is XYZ. It's gonna cost X amount of dollars, and then have the General Assembly vote on whether or not they want to pursue
So you
it.
will come to the assembly.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that isn't what you said before.
Well, no, we're talking about in terms of taking it beyond Martin sending them the letter, the demand saying, I'm the attorney, you need to settle this debt. If he does not hear from them, then we have to go the next step. And the next step, that's when we have to post the bond, and that's when we will come to the General Assembly and said, guys, this is where we are. It's going to cost X, and let Martin tell you how much it's going to cost to get us to the next level. And then the board can, the General Assembly can vote as to whether or not they want to go to the next level. But I think we should at least take it to the attorney's level where it make the demand and then see what the response is. And then after that, based upon that, we'll make a decision. The board will come to the General Assembly and say, this is where we are, and let the attorney give us some advice as to what it's going to cost, what the process is, etc.
And it's up to the people how many they want to take at one time. It'd be just one person we're going after right now. Leave it, decide on more later.
Well, when they see what's going on, the rest they will.
Hopefully change their mind.
Yeah.
So,
So
Okay.
okay.
One more thing, and I'm so sorry for this, but I didn't have any of this information before, so I'm just full of questions. I'm so sorry. The minutes that were just posted, the last sentence in it says something about the repair to the garita and the water tank, and that you have to get quotes on that and present that to the assembly. Is that part of gaining, taking over the common areas? So now we have all of that expense.
Yes, when that happened, then we will cross that bridge. So
but not now.
But not now, not until it's turned over. When we take control of it,
Then
it's
we'll-
That's
our
what I thought.
responsibility.
That's why I wasn't sure why we wanted it.
We are not involved in that. We're glad we're not in it. We don't have anything to do with it.
Well, let me correct that. Okay, the bottom line is that it is the HOA owns the common area, and when it takes control of the common area, then whatever it takes to get things right to eliminate any exposure, then we have to get it done. And of that course, if it comes up to a significant expense, then of course we'll have to come back to the General Assembly to address that matter.
When we get control.
It'll be significant.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's okay. I'm pretty sure it will be, but it's gonna be on the
Now,
table.
you aren't, you do have to go to the assembly to raise the dues or place assessments or anything, correct?
Yeah, well, one of the reasons we're pushing to collect, if we collect even half of this money we have owed to us, then we don't have to do anything about any additional assessment. And that's why it's in our best interest to push for that.
Yep.
Because sooner or later, we're going to take control of the common area, and that work has to be done. So we're pushing now to collect this monies that we have out there, so that when the time comes, we have the money in the bank to get that done.
Yep.
Without coming back to the owners and say, guys, we have to do the special assessment.
Okay.
It'll come.
Okay.
It'll come.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a long way off right now.
Okay. So,
anything else, guys?
Yeah, I got a question. So I kind of feel like you guys are setting the HOA up for a lawsuit, because if you're making the executive decision to forgive people's past dues, and you're sending all these letters out to everybody else and saying, hey, you better pay or we're going to put a lien on your home. It's like you've opened Pandora's box. You kind of, have put the HOA in a bad position.
what do you mean a bad position? Your whole, so you're
You
telling me that,
can't
okay,
do
no.
one thing for one person
Oh,
and not for everybody.
No, it's just for the people who hold. This is
No,
So-
he's
so-
referring to the one we settled with. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
well, you know, the thing is,
you set a precedence.
No.
no, we don't set a precedent. Basically, because we have been approached subsequently about reducing stuff, and we said no. Okay, and that was a special circumstance situation. Well, we do it, and now that we know that it's a big issue in the future, listen, whatever the bill is, that's the bill. You
But you've
pay.
already opened that box. Pandora's box has already been opened.
No, this is a box. Like any company, somebody owe you money. Let's say 10 people owe you monies, okay? If you give one a discount, it doesn't simply mean that you have to give all the other 9 people a discount. It's up to
Yeah,
you.
it kind of does.
No, it does. That's not how it works.
That's
Okay.
not the real world.
No, that's not how it works in business.
Okay.
Not the way. I've been in business. I've been involved in business for years. I mean, 30 years, probably more than your age, yeah, Elizabeth. But no, it's an individual decision. Okay, one by one. Facts and circumstances dictate what you do. But we have to push the people who hold the money and they're thumbing their nose at the HOA. Everybody else have to pay to maintain the road, the common area, the whole scene, pay for the security. And you have people who come in and driving through the gate every day, reaping the benefit, they're selling the property and they're not paying anything. You have
I'm not
to.
disagreeing with you on that. I agree 100%. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that you've already established that you're willing, without consulting with the HOA, that we're
that's
going to
your
forgive
opinion.
these people's dues, but we're not going to forgive yours, and we're going to put a lien on your home. That just doesn't make sense to
That's
me.
not going to stand up.
No, it doesn't work that way legally, Elizabeth. That's not how it works. They don't have a legal standing to do that, whether here in Panama or any place. When you have debts, people owe you money, you have 10 people or 2 people, if you work out with a deal, it doesn't bind you to the rest. It all comes down to individual facts and circumstances, and there's nothing that opening the Pandora's box or whatever it is. It's a
Okay.
factual situation, okay? And
Okay.
Martin, you can talk to that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends on you guys.
Yeah.
That depends on you.
And how we take on the fight.
Right.
It's going to be very
Right.
important.
So that's how that works, Elizabeth. You don't have to worry about Pandora's box. No. It's a one by one facts and circumstances, and it's up to the board, the HOA, to make that determination. And going forward, because we have subsequently been approached about, reducing this, and we said no, the bill is the bill. That's what you hold, that's what you pay.
Yeah.
And going forward, we're not going to open up that. We're going to close that Pandora box, Elizabeth. Okay, so that it doesn't become an issue again. Okay.
Anyone else? Something for Martin?
Hey guys, I got one real quick. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we're hearing it.
Okay. Hey, so you guys were talking about when Kathy asked about putting up items for vote, and just said tell you guys. So if this isn't the proper place, then just tell me and I'll wait till it is. But I have a concern here that people's pets that aren't controlling their pets, we need a vote on this and we need to do something. I don't want to have to bash somebody's dog's head in and then have to go tell them that I bashed their head in because they were aggressive towards my wife or my pet.
Reed, I'll answer this for you. If you have that problem, then if you get it to Edwin or one of us in here, we will definitely send out a letter. We, as the HOA, can we send them a very stern letter. We'll give them a warning and tell them the next one's coming. It's going to be a fine, and we have a right to do that. As Martin will tell you, we can impose fines on people, and it will go right on their property.
Okay, because I mean,
And,
what
they
we
can't
have.
get away from it.
My wife is afraid to walk on the streets now, and she's not the only one. Other people have had problems.
Yeah, we will
People's
address
dogs
it.
being aggressive.
You send us, we'll find out about this, we'll talk about it later, but you were right to bring it up here.
Yeah,
That's what this is all about, to
Yeah.
get this stuff, and we have sent out letters for things already. We try to keep it private, but though that is not out in the neighborhood, but I think you'd be surprised. And we had done, we have accomplished in that too, but we do keep it. You know, we're not publicizing it or anything like that, so we'll talk and we'll look after it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah, and that's what this meeting is all about, is
Yeah.
for people to, you know, raise issues, whatever it is. I see John over there. Okay, John.
John, raising that hand, go ahead, John.
Okay.
Thank you. I just have a very short little question. Am I on there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me? All right. Forgive me for even bringing this up. It may not even be the time, but I just want to say one thing. Could everyone think a little bit about the awful speed bumps we have? I mean, there are great speed bumps in the world, like in front of the schools and in some of the other streets. Ours are terrible, and they shake your car and hurt me every time I go across them. Can we do something about those the next time we have an opportunity?
Oh, I'm not a big engineer in that stuff. I think it'd be nice if we, again, if we had some help on something like this, John. If there was enough people, even a couple of people that could go out and research it a little bit and get back to us and give us some information, like a little committee, it would help us out a lot, that we can say, okay, this is the information we get to make it better, right? I mean, we might be able to smooth it out, but we could make it worse. I don't know enough about it.
Get whoever makes them the next time, or the next time we have anything done, maybe just keep it in mind that those are awful speed bumps.
And if you have a suggestion, let us know. I mean, really, I don't really pay much attention to them.
You don't? Well, if you lived out on my end of the beach, had to drive across them every day, you would.
Yeah, John, I know exactly what you're talking about, John. And we're looking to see if we can lessen that, because I think if you use some blacktop and sort of or concrete, whatever it is, you know, sort of grade it off, that would that's something we will look into and see what we can do.
Maybe, John, if they're too tall, maybe if we got somebody with a machine that could shave it and bring it down. I wouldn't suggest adding to it, because I think it would just delaminate. I don't think.
Actually, if you next time you go into town, just notice how smooth it is driving across the ones in front of the school. They're not curbs; they're actually smooth bumps. And you know, at 10 or 15 miles an hour without hurting your car or hurting yourself. So, I mean, that's all. I didn't want to make a big issue out of it. I just wanted to mention that it's
and it's a great place to bring it up too.
Yeah, and we'll look into that to see what we can do to address that issue.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, John. Anyone else with anything? For Martin? No. One thing. One thing I thought about, maybe Martin could touch base on it. It seems to be when we have something that's not that we know that's going on, like what we had with someone building on our pathway. Okay, and we were informed about it. What is are we allowed to stop these workers from coming in here and working on that thing, or can we absolutely stop and say, no, you're not coming in?
Okay, the way I see it is because like these two lots that are building were
like the resorts.
Yes.
Okay.
First, they don't want to be served by the entity of the municipality, and it's like nobody controlling them.
Yeah.
So, in my way to see it is stop them to come in. In that moment, 100% they're gonna go to the municipality or to the smart claim court to claim you guys don't let them go inside. And then we will resolve our problem really fast. The meaning, the entity will know who is it. In right away, they will notify or disturb them, telling them they can do whatever they're doing right now.
Okay, so we can stop their workers from coming in. We can stop their them bringing in materials.
Yes.
Can we stop the homeowner? No, we can't stop the homeowner.
By constitution, the homeowner, you don't supposed to stop that.
Yeah, we can't stop him. Right.
Any visit, any work at whatever.
Yeah, we can stop them.
Yes.
Okay.
And then this other thing, usually, let's say if it's a person doing something inside,
Yes.
they supposed notify you what kind of car they're gonna use, what kind of equipment they're gonna use,
Yeah.
and like that we are knowledge they will not damage our road or whatever you're protecting here.
Yeah, so we're getting down to, we have to have better control over our gate and getting better information.
Yes.
So we can keep and monitor that we can control what they're doing that way
Yes.
on doing
You're
it,
supposed
right?
to do it.
Yes, and even then having, like Sunday seems to be a real vulnerable time for this area, because that's when a lot of people open the gates with their phones and let contractors in with materials and everything, because we don't have a gate attendant, right?
Okay.
So this is something I want the people to think about on there. This is when we control our gate, we're controlling a lot that's happening on our beach and keeping everything in control. What's going wrong, right, on it, and it'll keep us away from lawsuits, like possibly
Yes.
on there. So basically, I just wanted your idea on how to stop it. That we had the right, so everyone here can that they know. A lot of the times we're doing the right thing on this.
So
Yeah.
Cynthia, I see you up there.
Yeah, Cynthia, you have a question? Cynthia?
Me?
Yes, you're on screen.
You're on the screen.
All right.
Sorry, I don't know this Zoom thing. I'm not paying it. I'm just listening.
Okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't touch anything.
That's
Okay.
cool, that's
Okay,
cool.
Good.
All right. Anyone for anything for Martin, or else we're gonna send them
Well,
on.
since you did call my name, let me ask, I just want to clarify. So you're talking about C13 and 15, you can stop the workers from coming in?
Yeah, I mean, we can stop the workers from coming in, but I think, and that's not a bad question right now, but I think where we run into the situation there, Cynthia, is actually, I think the workers never leave here. They're living in there. I think
Yeah.
they're passing off as renters, right? Now, what would we, what do you suggest in something like that, Martin?
He's not the owner.
We're
The
not
first
the
time they go outside,
So-
they're never gonna let it go in.
Yeah, okay, so that's what did you hear that?
Okay, so he said when they leave, we don't let them back in.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
let's be nice.
yeah,
Let's communicate the owner first.
yeah,
Next time you are not competed, you don't have a working permit, you don't
Yeah.
you don't have this, you don't
Yeah.
provide to us this, we are gonna stop your employees to go inside.
yeah. And all the other vehicles that's going there too. Now, what they likely will do is they likely just walk around the beach and walk in anyway.
But you don't have any control over that.
Yeah,
So let's
and we
not
don't
be-
have that
So let's
control.
not,
Yeah, but
that's not,
we can
don't
stop
waste
them
time
from-
talking about that.
Yeah, we can stop them from bringing in.
We're talking
material,
about the gate,
right?
okay?
We can
Yeah.
stop,
So-
we can stop them from bringing in materials.
All right.
A question, do you know what they're doing there?
No. And
Nobody knows what they're doing.
well, no, and Alane, they don't have any power, do they? They can't enforce anything.
Well, no, it's not
They
about
don't
that.
have-
They don't have any power. They don't
So-
do it.
We have to wait for the government and Alane to get together and actually do something. But there's nothing we can do. They're not even on our land.
What are you talking about? What,
C-15.
with C-15?
Yeah.
C13 and
That's where
15.
they're, huh? Yeah,
C13 and 15. Yeah.
C-13, not 15, okay.
Well,
No,
they're together.
yeah, they're two.
They're side by side.
Yes, he owns both.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And they have floodlights that are lit up like a Christmas tree you can see now from space. It is, I can see it 4 lots away, the lights down at my place now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
what status
They're planning to
of
do
that-
events
of
there,
that-
like an event place. Is that true? Do you know that?
No, we don't.
Well, this is the thing, this is in a closed community who's supposed to has only houses. Any business could happen inside, like an event center. No way.
You don't let them in. No, they don't come in. This
Yeah.
is for you to live.
One of the things, like, let's say they finish the project, and in one shot start to go inside 20 cars, whatever, we could stop them right away. And then this is the thing, like, let's say if some owners they have a party. Usually they have a gather to have a wine, you guys together, between neighbors. But let's say if you want to bring somebody from outside, you suppose notify the security this person is gonna come. But in the meantime, if that person say, hey, it's gonna come 20 persons, different 20 cars,
We have a right to say no.
No.
yes, you have the right.
Okay? Yeah, we can say no.
No. Yes. Even
Because
that
we control this, we have control in here because it's a private community. We got the signs out there saying no.
yes.
Yeah.
That's the big idea with the
So
signs.
if they do that, Cynthia, we can shut it down.
Yes.
If they start that process, we can shut it down.
So have they been notified that they are blocking the public access with their retention wall that's actually looks like it's in the public space?
Yes.
Yes, they have, yeah.
Martin, we sent them a letter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have been notified.
But now with that, where they're blocking the pathway, we can only control our subdivision. They put it just outside of that where it is actually on government.
And that's where you have
Right,
the
so
environmental people.
That's what it is.
That's why we got
In
the
my opinion, it was cleverly placed.
right. So that's why we got the environmental people involved because they are the ones who have the power to shut that down or destroy it or whatever the situation is. So
Mhm.
we have gotten the right people
Involved.
who
Yeah.
has the power to, shut it down. So, and we
So
will
that was
stay on
because,
top of
and they
it.
haven't come out because they didn't have a car to come out and look at it? Is that correct? Is that what you
No,
said earlier?
No. Let Ray Martin was the one who talked.
Well, this morning, this is what they told me. They didn't have they didn't have a card, and they're waiting for like they have like a schedule with all the inspections, and they're waiting to set a schedule to come here. And in the meantime, I told him if you don't have a car, I will provide you my car. Like I will come with them and say they will study that option.
Okay. And for your information, Cynthia, last week, the town of Alania, about 4 people were over, came in the development and was there on C13 and 15, going through the whole process. So they are involved in the process.
Okay, good. Good to know.
Okay, so I just want to know the status now is we're now waiting for the environmental people to come out and look. Because by the
Yes.
time they get here, I'm afraid of what it's going to look like.
Well, this is what I told them this morning. Hey, these people are still building and they still damage that area. Hurry. This is what I told them. And then don't worry. Next Monday, next Tuesday, I'm gonna be there too again, knocking doors.
Yeah. But they can't impose fines, can they?
They could.
They could?
It's
Yeah.
the
And they'll
government, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean if
All
it's
right.
the government, right?
Yeah, yeah. I thought Alani didn't have so much of a pull.
No, they will.
They do now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alania is the authority, the municipal
It's,
authority that covers this area.
It's
It's a government.
what I say. This is called the Mi Ambiente, or is
Yeah.
the Environment Bureau.
Yeah, the
Right.
environmental
Yeah,
bureau.
so they can impose.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for handling that. I appreciate it.
I thought Alonhe had already imposed a $500 fine on them, and that the engineer that did that issues the building permits was surprised that the building was still actually standing there when he came out last week.
Was that the kitchen, you mean, Jay?
Yes, the pizza kitchen.
Yeah. You know
Jay-
what I'm referring to?
Okay. This
Jay-
new judge from Guatemala, the judge from Guatemala, that she told me that was from that case was from last administration, and they was trying to trying to serve that person. This is the problem they have. They can't find it, and then I provide phone numbers from U.S. phone number and email address too, and it's no answer those emails and phone numbers.
Yeah, because it has to be delivered to him in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have notified our gate the best we can that when they know he's on the beach, we are to be notified immediately so we can try and make this delivery. Right? That's
Yes.
all we can do.
For now, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anything else, John?
Nope, I'm done.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm just praying hands.
I think Rebecca's waving her hand there.
Okay.
What do you want, Pete? Go ahead, speak.
She
Hold
hasn't
on.
unmuted her microphone yet.
Yeah, ask you unmute.
Go.
All right,
So-
there you go.
Martin, compared to Boquete, dealing with Alani and trying to get things done, what is the difference? How more difficult is it with Alani than Boquete? Or is it?
Between Boquete and
Dealing with the court system,
The
getting
government.
fines. And get them
Dealing
to
with the
a-
government agency and Boquete, would you
okay, the
able to stop
municipality of
that?
Boquete.
Yes, that's what she's talking about.
Okay, between the municipality of Boquete and the municipality of Alane,
Yeah.
the treasurer of Boquete loved me. Because this is some there are fines who they goes to the municipality.
Yeah.
So each time I see something because let's say I work in Los Molinos, I work for Valle Escondido, Spring de Boquete, I do some work for Montaña Verde. So each time I see something like doesn't sometimes like hey, we are in Panama, we have law, and some guys they come here, they believe they could do whatever they want, they try to be I don't know. So in that moment, like I talk to them, the boards they talk to them, and they are not listening. And then we go through the municipality. In this case, Alange, the truth, like I've been just 4 months, 5 months in this, and maybe they don't know me. I started like before to come here to Barqueta today. I went to the municipality, I spoke with the engineer, what's going on. I went to the smart lane court. She's still in vacations again. She
Okay.
takes too many vacations because she always have an pamphlet to say she's only there Tuesday and Thursday. No, on Friday.
Okay.
She's just 2 days because she's in vacation.
Yeah.
Little things like that, like maybe in Boquete that the small claim court judges they work permanently and they're faster. So here, this is what I see for now. But even that, the relationship I have with the judge here in Guatemala, I see it nice. She tried to help me. The meeting the other day, I brought a power of attorney, and Patrick, I came to pick it up the signing thing here, and she accepted because other judge could say no, he has to be in front of me if he want to read that document. She accepted because I told her, hey, I don't want to move this guy from one side to the other side, and then she approved it. Like this for me, this is trying to help.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anything, guys?
That's good.
You're good? Anyone else for Merton before we send him on his way? I guess
Okay.
we're done with you.
Okay, Mark.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
If you have any question, send that to the
Board.
Board,
to the
yeah.
board.
Edward,
I will answer to I don't remember his name who was answered. If how we came a close community. I will send that information to the board, and that information will send it back to you. Sometimes my English is not that good, so
you're good.
thank you guys. Huh?
Alrighty. Thanks very much.
Okay, thanks for coming, Mark.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Can I ask a question? I actually had my hand raised.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, never
I'm
seen you there.
sorry.
Hi there, it's Deb, MO1.
Yeah.
In the event with regard to L10 that you can't serve the letter in person as required, what's the recourse? And my second part of that question is, what if the owner refuses to dismantle that Pizza Hut house?
Okay, I spoke with the engineer from Alange and the small claim court from Guatemala. My understanding that comes from the last administration that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they say if this, my suggestion to them, we could have what we call here served by the door. The meaning, you pause, you
put it on his door.
Place it on the door.
Yeah, and then he has like 5 days to answer. If he doesn't answer, they could because they want to give the opportunity to the person to defend himself first to do any action. And then I was telling them, like you have to be more strong to the small claim court. I mean, we have to serve them by the door, and if they don't answer, we have to destroy that area. The municipality has to do it. And in that moment, they will send them on a fine again and the cost of doing it. And then the municipality later on, they could put a lien in the property because they have a debt with the municipality.
Yeah, so there is a recourse with that.
So two
Okay.
They
things,
have a way to do it.
right? So two things: they fine the fees to destroy it. They
Yeah.
fine also destroying that, demolishing that setting. So that's what we're working on now to get done.
And then the other thing is clear. We have a law who protects the 12 meters to the sea between
Two properties.
the properties all the way to the sea, and from different meters between each lot, they have a right way to the sea too.
Yeah.
And then we have to understand this is a lower pyramid. Plus, we have to understand too, here in Barqueta Nice is just for the use of the owners who live here. Let's say I come to the beach, Barqueta, I don't suppose come by that pathway. It's only for you guys.
Yeah.
Who
It's not
live
for them
here.
to come up, yeah.
No, not for the public.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, good question, thanks, Ed. Okay, anyone else with anything? No, okay, well, geez, Martin.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Get a chance to run now.
Bye-bye.
Hey, take care.
Gracias. Bye, Patrick.
Okay, Bob.
You missed the rain, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, guys, so,
so wait, let me just, Adam. So,
Patrick's got something.
yeah, so listen, guys, we realize that, we are not perfect, but we're trying to do our best to serve the best interests of the community. So I know that it's not every action that we take, it's going to be 100% unanimous agree, but we try to do our best, and it's a learning experience, like that issue with making that adjustment on Q10. We now know that that door is closed. So as far as we're concerned, that we will not do again, and we will just strive to, serve the community the best way we can, and that's basically what our objective is. And whatever help you can provide or guidance, we don't know it all, but we're just here to serve you, and that's what it's all about.
We've got to, one thing we want to make sure, and we're trying to get out to people, I mean, you can see with the boulevard, we're getting things out of the way so you can see the maintenance that has to be done, that we have to look at in the future on that wave, the wave wall. Kind of, we've got a lot of cracks, a lot of rebar that's starting to show. We don't want it to end up like the stuff, the fencing that's going to the beach, because that's beyond repairable. But the whole thing is the way we're working on the boulevard right now and getting everyone to participate and having their workers that's working on their property, that plants out there, to keep it trimmed, because pretty soon we're gonna have to get workers in that's gonna have to go in between both sides and repair on it, and it's gonna be a cheaper cost for every one of us if we keep going on and planning ahead the way we are. But I think it's working out really well on it. I think everyone's got that idea. Anything you want to add more?
No, I think that's it. We cover the collection action.
Yeah.
Financial statement, I just want to say, the financial statement have been posted. I've put in a lot of time with the accountants to get it done properly, because the way, in my opinion, as an accountant, the way it was being presented, it really did not present a true and accurate picture of the HOA affairs. We have now corrected that. You can take a look at the financial statements that are posted. And if you have any question, I'm here to answer them, or whatever I can answer, I will direct it to the accountant. But I'm an accountant, so I know exactly what the process is and what's right, what's not. So we have come a long way in making sure that you have an accurate financial report when you receive it.
Mhm.
I guess I have a quick question on that statement. How much in dues have we collected this year? Because I went through the reports and I can't tell.
He was asking how much dues we've already collected this year.
Well, that I will have to, because that's a cash flow stuff, because the financial statement is not designed for, to tell you how much dues is collect. So Phil, what I will do, I will have to have the accountant to run a cash flow stuff and then let me know. And then
Okay, I mean,
I'll post that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
I just want to make one comment that I don't know if we do have somebody else doing the landscaping or if maybe Francisco got a little fire under his rear end. But I will say from things down this end are starting to look much nicer. I've noticed some of the bushes being trimmed, some of the edging being done, and it's starting to look a lot better in the last week. Don't know if it's just a coincidence, but I just thought I would throw that out there so that you guys know that I noticed.
No, actually, and it's great that you spotted that. I think there's a great job all the way down. It is a learning experience for him in a lot of ways. We actually stepped up and we're showing him and getting him involved, how to build his better business for himself and for his workers. And he's taking it very seriously. He's getting to a point where he's going to start to pick and choose. He is a contractor, so he's allowed to work for whoever he wants, but he's made the choice. He wants to work really serious with the HOA and put them the number one first. And I think it's showing it right now.
Hey, I had
I noticed, so that's good.
one question in relation to that. Is Francisco an employee to where we're paying his social security?
No.
Okay, cool. Just independent contractor.
Right,
So
right. That's why we
don't have to worry about them either. Cool.
right.
He has his own company and he is being looked after by an accountant. And the accountant is making sure he's on it, and we get a monthly stuff to make sure we're protected.
Right, because we have to get what we have been told is that, if he doesn't pay it, we are jointly liable. So we have to make sure that it's being paid. So what we're doing now is set him up with the accountant, so at least once a month we can get a report to make sure that those tax returns are whatever financials he has to file and pay the tax.
Perfect.
This is referring to you again, Stacy. This has been working on for many months now, but now is when it's really starting to show that it's pulling together. But we have been working with Francisco trying to get it to this stage now, and I think he's going to nail it. Good.
Yes.
Good, that's very good.
Okay.
Anyone else with anything?
So as requested, I said we should have another town hall meeting prior to the General Assembly meeting.
We'll be
And this time we will, develop an agenda and send it out and ask for people input and then go from there. Because like I said, the bottom line is we're here to serve the community, and that's what it's all about, but within, reason.
That's right, and that's basically what we have our manager set up for, and we're going to be doing that. You'll be able to phone in and say this is for the agenda that's coming up, and we want him to have it there. We want to know who's asking the question, and basically so we can put it together.
Okay. If nothing more, then we're gonna adjourn this town hall
Anybody can
meeting.
make a motion for that one.
Okay.
I will.
Yeah. Okay. Seconded.
Okay, you guys all good?
Okay.
We're gonna
Yes.
pass.
Okay.
All right.
Second.
Unmute your mic, Beth.
You what?
She has her mic muted.
Who's that?
Elizabeth.
See what? Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna get her. Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
I just wanted to say thank you to both of you.
Oh, thanks.
I think that the issues that you're working on are really important. Collecting the dues, taking care of that common property. And I know that often working on the board is a thankless job, but I think you're doing a good job, and I, for one, appreciate the time and effort that you put in.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you know what Elizabeth said?
And where did John go? Oh, Beth, I'm so glad that John didn't pull that routine like he did before with the iPad in bed.
Yes. Yeah, right. We're very. I was so. John made a point to be dressed for this video call.
Okay, guys.
Elementary level.
Okay,
Right.
thank you.
We're cashing out. Thanks, Brent.
Thanks.
Thank you both.
Bye.
Welcome.